Hello everyone, this is Willa Latham with my beautiful antique porcelain, and today I am showing you my new cabaret set. I always love finding cabaret sets. I look for them all over the world. Sometimes I find a whole set at once, sometimes I have to collect all the different items and slowly put it together, and whenever I'm able to offer you a whole cabaret set, I'm always very excited. This is also a very special set because it was made by Belleek, the Irish pottery, in the late 19th century, and I will show you more in detail. Now what we have here is a tea set with a beautiful teapot and a little milk jug, a little sugar bowl, 2 teacups, and also 2 tiny little coffee cups for the coffee drinkers. Aren't they cute? And all of this is on a tray that is purpose made. It's in the same style, and that's why we call it a cabaret set. Now you will have seen that this is a very particular design. It's very unusual, a little bit quirky. Belleek was very famous for its quirky designs, and that's because they decided to not follow the normal English fashion, but take their inspiration from their Irish environment, their Irish nature. And of course, a lot of that is the sea. And you might ask, how did that come about? Well, it's an interesting story to Belleek. I've told it before, but I'll tell it again because it's really very interesting. As you may know, Ireland went through some devastating famines in the 19th century. The country had a very hard time. 1 million people died and 1 million people left the country, and those who remained had a really tough time. It was also a time of British colonialism. There was a lot of political unrest. The Brits weren't very nice to the Irish, so they were struggling. Now there was this landowner in Belleek, which is in County Fermanagh, which is right in the heart of sort of the northern part of Ireland. It's right on the border between Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland. And he was thinking, what am I going to do because my people are starving? Now he was an amateur mineralogist, and he realized when he was just playing around with the soil in his own estate, he realized that the soil was perfect, the clay was absolutely perfect to make porcelain. So he decided to found a porcelain factory for the workers in his village. And he involved some British friends, an investor, and somebody who had a lot of experience with setting up businesses and dealing with commodities like coal. Because you couldn't even get coal to Northern Ireland. It was so poor at the time, there just weren't the amenities. So he had to build a railway. And he had, of course, to build a whole factory, which is still standing today and still in operation today. And then after a number of years, he started making porcelain. And they made very sort of interesting, quirky designs that nobody took much notice of until Queen Victoria one day came by and she bought a little cabaret set. And she absolutely loved it. She used it the rest of her life every day for breakfast. Now, of course, that created a whole fashion among the British nobility for Belleek porcelain, and they started churning out one interesting design after another. So that's how it all came about. It became very fashionable. And I'm going to show you more in detail the quality of this porcelain. So if you think this looks kind of very unusual, it's true. Look how thin this porcelain is. Look, you can look right through it. And this one even more. It's just incredibly thin, and yet it's actually very strong. And also the sound is different than bone china. You hear it? It has a very different sound. Now, the reason for this is that this was made with the local Belleek clay, which has a lot of frit in it, they call that, and it has a high percentage of glass, and it creates what you call eggshell porcelain. This is eggshell. There are certain parts of the world where you can find this clay. They have it in Japan. They also have it in North America. And the Belleek clay unfortunately ran out in the 1950s. So the modern Belleek stuff is made with Cornish clay from Cornwall, and that's much more just normal bone china sort of stuff. So this is really quite rare to find this old eggshell china, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. This set was called Tridacna. Now the Tridacna is a clam, a saltwater clam that lives in the sea at the coast near Ireland. And you can see that, you know, this is like a Tridacna shell, and the teapot as well. And then look at the finial, it's done like, well, is it seaweed? Is it a coral? I don't quite know, but I think it's incredibly cute and inventive. It's very unusual, and the teacups are so delicate and with this wonderful surface. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you're watching on YouTube, please press subscribe and also press like. It really helps me if you do that. If you watch it on Instagram, just sign up to my feed, and you'll see a video most weeks, almost every week. And I am on Instagram every single day with pictures, stories, so you can find out more. You can find me at gentlerattleofchina.com, and I hope to see you again next week. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.